Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Scott. Welcome to One Last Hand. Welcome to Parks second edition. I haven't played first edition, so I don't know all of the ins and outs of the differences between the two. I know a lot of people who've got the first edition are very, very happy with it. I think this is a bit more succinct in terms of what it does. I'm going to do my best to talk you through the game, and we'll probably do a bit of a teach up front, but then I'd like this to be a playthrough that you can watch if you're looking to play solo player. What I will say about the rulebook, it's a little bit annoying that the rulebook is laid out in such a way that it's here are the multiplayer rules, then here are the two-player rules, then here are the solo rules, but you have to read through all of the previous to get to the solo rules. It refers to other bits of the book. Sometimes a little bit annoying when it does that. I mean, it's not a huge rule book, so it's not the end of the world, but it'd be nice if they were a little bit clearer in this is how you play solo player, but it is what it is. Okay, so what is the object of the game? The object of the game is to score victory points. That is denoted by these symbols here. We are going to be hiking our way down this track with two AI players, controlled by this deck here, and we're going to be getting to the trail end. When we do, we're going to reset all of the board, and we're going to see if anyone has completed the objective for spring, then summer, then fall. When we get to that end of the game, person with the most points win. In solo, it's actually based on the person, how well your score did. I played this once before and I got 42 points, so we're an explorer, and you can see there's a few ways here of making the game a little bit more difficult. We won't be doing that. So let's talk about these seasons, because obviously we need to know how we get the resources and stuff, but let's talk about the objectives here. So you can see in spring, the person with the most water icons in their bag is going to win. That's in multiplayer. In solo, we have to have 3+ water tokens in our bag. In summer, we have to have 4+. In fall, we have to have 5+. Not necessarily water, because you'll notice in the summer token, it's the person with the most instant actions on parks they've visited, and in fall it's the person who's got the most mountains in parks they've visited. In this instance, it would be we have to have 4 instant actions on parks we visit in summer, and we'll have to have 5 mountains in parks we visited by fall. So that's kind of the idea of the game we're working through. We're getting victory points, and victory points look like this. So how does that work? What will happen is we will be turning over cards for Ranger Teddy, and we will be moving his hikers down the track. Let's say he moved here, let's say he moved here in his turns. We'll talk about how we do that in a second, but it's our turn. We have to move to an available space. We cannot go to the same space as Ranger Teddy. The only time that's different is if we've managed to flip over our fire campsite token, then we could come to the same spaces as Ranger Teddy, but we would have to flip over our fire. So what happens when they come to a site? I'll talk about very quickly this symbol here. This is the shutterbug symbol. What that means is they're going to get this token. It doesn't do anything for them, but it just stops us from having it. When we get it in our possession, anytime we take a photo, we trade in a resource to take a photo, we can do it again. So we can take 2 photos by spending 2 resources, whereas normally you'd only ever be able to spend 1. They will, if they come to a symbol here or a section here, they're going to take away the resource that's here. They don't do anything else when it's just a resource token, but when they come to a space with a resource in the space, they will remove it from the board. For us, when we come to it, we will take it and put it into our backpack. So let's assume that they came to this site here. Right, there's a couple of things that would happen. Because they're the first one, they'd actually use the campsite. This is kind of an additional module. It's not very complicated, but it's an additional module. When they come here, they will take this campsite and they will cover up the rightmost section on this campsite. There's 3 different campsites here that we're going to use for each season. If this campsite wasn't here, they would come and take away this water. But what they'd also do in the park section is take away this park and move them all down, so we're getting some churn. Same thing for gear over here. If they come to the gear section, obviously there's a tent in this one again, so the first time they come here they'd do that, but they would remove this and they would take away the gear at the top here. We'll talk about gear and that in a second. So they're really used to make things a little bit more complicated for you, to get in the way, to gum up the track. Let's talk about these symbols, because I think it's important to understand what's happening. Anytime we see a resource token, we'll be taking those resources and putting them into our backpack. We have 12 slots on our backpack. Once it's full, we can keep them in our hand until the end of our turn, then we have to discard down. So here we will gain a forest token and we'll be able to take the shutterbug. Here we'll gain the sun weather token and be able to take 2 waters. Water is an interesting resource. So when you take water, you can put it into your backpack. You could also put it into your canteen, and when you do that, you're able to take the action here. In this instance, trade in a resource to get a wild resource. Let's assume, I'm just going to turn one of these over. Let's assume I also had this here. When I put this down, I'll be able to do both of these things. So really strong. You can only do them once per season, but I could get a wild resource, and I can do them in any order. So I could get 2 suns, then trade in one of those suns to get a wild, and a wild being I could use it as any resource at all. Okay, so that's the wild symbol and the water symbol and how the water symbol works. So we've got this one here, which is you roll the trail die, and it might give you some resources. It might give you a canteen token. It might give you two waters or 1 water, etc., etc., or a wild token. Gain a mountain, obviously pretty straightforward. The parks action is different, so we'll talk about the parks action. If we were to come to the parks action, we can either gain a park into our reserve, so we could take one of these and put it into our reserve. We wouldn't have to pay for it. The reserve is to the left of our board, and it just means no one else can use that park. So let's say we really wanted this one, but we didn't have the resources for it. We could come here and claim this into our reserve before the AI starts to churn it away and get rid of it. So it's a way of us reserving it. If we have all of the resources, we can visit a park. So we could pay 4 mountains and 2 sunshines to take this and put it into our visited parks to the right of our board, and we'd get 7 points at the end of the game. There are some parks that have this little instant action. Remember, we saw that as one of the objectives for summer, and in this instance it's if we pay the forest, the sunshine and the water to get the 5 points and visit this park, instantly we can gain a canteen token and put it onto our canteen. So pretty nice to do that. And then we've got the same thing over here, obviously far less points but far less resources. So we can either reserve a park, or we can visit multiple parks. If we can pay for them, we can visit all of them. I will check before we start whether you can reserve multiple parks. I'm not 100% sure if you can or you can't. If we go here, you'll be able to trade in 1 resource to gain a wild token. Wild tokens are really cool. They look like this, or they look like this. So they're little wooden tokens, and they can count as any resource. If we go here, we get 2 sunshines. If we go here, we can take a photo by spending a resource. Again, if we have the shutterbug token or tile, we can take 2 photos by getting rid of 2 resources. If we go here, we can buy a gear. Gear is at the top here. It makes your life a little bit easier. So you can see here, we'll be able to flip over our campfire token. We saw that a little bit earlier, this one here. So this would then become usable if we're at the space with the 2 sunshines on. This one, whenever you can gain a canteen token when you reserve a park. And in the last one, if you go to the sunshine space with the 2 sunshines, you can reserve a park. So that's kind of a useful benefit. You want those early on. You can see up here the cost for each one of them. So 1 sunshine and all of these. If you want to take the top card from here, it's going to cost you 2 sunshine to do that. Let's assume we get all the way to the end of the park, the end of the trail. So let's assume Ranger Teddy gets here. He is going to be looking at the back of his solo card, and it's going to tell him to go in one of these slots. If he's the first one here, anyone who's the first goes in the right here, and they will gain the reward, and they'll be able to do this left space reward if they wanted to. So if I went here, I'd be able to gain the first player token, which at the end of the game is worth a point, and we'd be able to take the park action. If we went here, we'd be able to gain a wild and take the photo, and again, if we had the shutterbug token, we'd be able to get 2 photos, and here we'd be able to get a sunshine, and we'd be able to take a gear. I think you still have to pay the price for it, but you'll be able to get the gear from there. Okay, so that's that. There's two things for me to check. Do you have to pay the price at the end? I'm pretty sure you do. So we're working our way down this trail, and we are scoring points as many as we can. The most obvious way to score points is visiting parks. That's the reason we're here. There's a couple of other ways of doing it. Obviously getting this token, having this token at the end of the game, having photo albums or photos from off the park. So if we flip these over, 1 point or 5 points, depending on how many photos we've got. And then I think that's it. I think that's how we score all of our points, apart from our passion cards, which are here. So you can see here, I have this card, which I need to have parks with 3 mountains on them in the parks that I visited. I don't know if this is have at least 1 card with 3 on, or have 3 on all of the parks. I think it's the latter. I'll check that as well. And then I can flip this card over. When I do, I get to choose one of the rewards. I could either gain a gear reward. When gaining a mountain, you may spend a mountain to get a wild token. So I can do that whenever I get a mountain. Or I can get the end of scoring action, which is I gain 1 point for each 2 mountains on any park. Okay? Or on the parks that I visited, sorry. So we'll keep that in mind as we go as well. And I think that's probably everything you need to know to get started. It's pretty straightforward. You don't have to play with the campsites. They will mean that we get less churn. But then equally, if they're going to these sites, the solo player takes those actions as well, as far as I'm aware. So I think that's everything, from our point of view. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. I'm just going to quickly go and check about reserving parks and spending tokens over here, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're back and we're ready to go. So I've checked. You can only ever reserve a single park. If you want to achieve this, it's have 3 mountains on any of the parks that you visited. So it's not you have to have 3 on 1 card. It's have 3 on the collective number of cards, and you have to purchase gear. You don't just grab a gear from there. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So let's get started. We're going to turn over this card. I'll show it to you up close so you can see it, and we'll go from there. So here we go. This is showing us, the first thing we're looking at is over here on the left hand side, the back ranger. Now it doesn't matter for turn 1, but going forward it will make a difference. So we're doing blue first. I've actually just tucked these tokens out of the way just to remind myself that blue goes first, then green every time, because green might be in front on the trail. And what this is showing us is that the blue hiker is going to go to the next available slot. This is showing us is jumping over anyone who's there. This only happens when they get to the end of the trail, so we don't need to worry about this. But we're going to take the blue hiker and put them in the next available slot. That means they get the shutterbug token. There is no weather on here, so nothing happens, and nothing happens when they come to the forest token. Nothing happens there. This card, this solo reference card, does remind you that the first thing they do is move the campsite. Then they, if they were on a weather token, on a space with a weather token, they get that. They take the shutterbug token, they discard the rightmost park, they discard the rightmost gear. So it tells you everything that you kind of need to know from that. Okay, so let's do green next. I won't put the card up there. I will do it just so I can show you that, because this one's slightly different. This one is the hiker moves exactly 2 spaces and will share a space if need be. So again, we'll look at the top card here. It doesn't make any difference because we're doing the green one, but this guy is going to go here. It's going to take this sun token, and that's it. They stop where they are. So we've now got a choice. We can move to any of these spaces from here. We obviously don't want to move too far. I would really like some mountains. So maybe that's the answer, to go and get as many mountains as we can. But equally, I would also like some water, because we want to have at least 3 water on our board at the end. Do I want to go to the wild space and get something from there, or do I just want to try and secure some mountains to begin with? Let's do that. I'm going to jump ahead to this space. I'm going to take the sunshine, and I get to put that in my board. And because we're at a mountain space, I'm going to put that into my backpack. And that is us done. Okay. I mean, this is so expensive. It's likely to go away. I'd probably like to go and reserve it. Maybe I should have done that to begin with. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so we're back. Turns are pretty quick. We're back to Blue Ranger Teddy. He is jumping to the next available space, and it's the front ranger. So he's going here, and is getting rid of this. Now, if the next one goes, thankfully they'll go to this space, or they'll take up another space. The parks will still be there. Now we're talking the green ranger. So the back ranger is going 2 spaces to join his colleague over here. Perfect. It's back to us. Do I want to go and reserve Bryce Canyon? I think I do, because that achieves this. It's 7 points from the get-go. It's a lot to worry about, but I'm going to go. If I went here, I get the option to use the campsite. Let's just talk about those tokens here. So we get to take the tent and put it on one of these spaces. Now we only get to do either the tent or the action space rewards. We don't get to do both. So if I took the tent, I could go here, I could gain the park action still and take a photo, which would be worth a point. I could go here and get any 2 resources for a sun, which would get us closer to having the mountains. I can trade in a mountain for 5 water, which would help us achieve our goal. Or we can come here and get a mountain and or a forest and a sun or a water. I think I'm just going to go to the Parks Trail. We're going to gain the water, and I'm going to reserve Bryce Canyon. I'm going to tuck this here. I'd like to be able to visit this a bit later on and get those rewards. We'll move these down, and we'll flip this one over, and we have the Everglades to think about. Okay, that's us done. We're back to Blue Ranger Teddy. So the back ranger is moving 2 spaces. It's pretty busy over here, I have to say. Okay, and then Ranger Teddy Green is moving 2 spaces, and it's the back. It doesn't make any difference, so he is going here. And now it's our turn. Do we want to take that forest and the Shutterbug token? I think we probably do. Is there? I mean, there is a benefit of coming over here and trading in a sun for any 2 resources, because that would mean more mountains, but I do need sun, so maybe not. A mountain and a sun would get us far closer to where we are right now, so maybe taking that. We'll also get a couple more suns, which is really nice. Here will give us a sun and a wild. We do need the water. I am going to move you along and grab this water. And I'm going to take these 2. I can see the benefit here. Do I want to... No, I'm going to do this and get 2. This is a net gain of 1 by doing this. I'm going to... It's not maybe the ones we want, but I'm going to do this rather than move that there. Okay, not sure this is the strongest first to go. So in this instance, the front ranger blue is going to go to the next available slot. When he does, it's going to take the campsite and put it on top of the camping location. Now we can't use that one. Okay. Green is going to the next available spot. It's the back ranger. He's going just here. And the dice means he doesn't do anything in that instance. So it's back to us. So I've still only got 1 mountain, which isn't ideal. Could go here and get another canteen thingy, so this becomes much more powerful when we use it. Could go here and use the tent, which we could spend a mountain to get 5 waters, which would maybe be a reasonable approach. You know, it certainly achieves what we need to, but I only need 3, so if I went here and got this water, it wouldn't be a problem. But I could probably go here at some point and get these 2 if this fella moves out of the way. I don't know what the right option is here. Maybe I'll make our canteen more powerful, because if we get it early on, it's powerful for the rest of the game. So I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to grab a canteen token. We'll take these 2 suns, and we'll put them there. So now, when we use this, we're going to get 2 suns and a wild. If we trade in a token for it, we can use one of those suns. I think that's pretty useful. That's us done. Okay, blue is moving 2 spaces, and it's the back ranger. 1, 2. Get out of the way. I want a mountain. Okay, next is green. Green front ranger is moving 3. 1, 2, 3 over here. There goes a tent onto that location. Now it's our go. As much as I'd like this, I'm going to jump here and grab these. I'm going to take 1 water. I only need 3, so I'm going to take 1 and put it here. Then I'm going to take the other water, put it here, and gain a sun. And for the other sun, I'm going to trade it in to take a wild token, which can be used for any token. So we're getting close to our limit. We can't use this again, but we've now got 2 mountains. I need another 2, so maybe we can trade it in up here or get to this mountain before they get to the end. One thing I didn't clear up is if you are the last person on the trail, you immediately jump to the end. You don't get to stop at any more spots. Okay, Blue Ranger Teddy at the back is leapfrogging over here, getting rid of this sunshine. Green Ranger Teddy at the front is leapfrogging here and getting rid of this campsite. Okay, so no more tents going on. Now it's our turn. Do we go and I think we just go and get that mountain, right? I'm not going to have enough mountains, but if we go here we can get the mountain. I should have got that forest. Definitely should have got that forest. Okay, well we're going, hold on, where was I? I was here. Oh no, you were here. I went to the mountain. We are grabbing one mountain. Okay, we're getting closer. Just need one more, which I can't get from anywhere. Okay, good. This is, yeah, okay, right. There you go. So blue at the back is moving 3, 1, 2, 3 into the same spot as us. Green at the front is moving to the final space, and this card here will show us what they are going to do. So he's going to go onto the buffalo space, and that means we can't get the reward there. Sorry, the wild space. That means we can't get the reward. It is now our turn. I really wanted this one, so that's annoying. I wonder, I go here, I grab the water, and I spend 2 suns to get a reward. I'm going to get the flint and tinder because it does give us a chance. So we're going to spend 1 sun to grab the flint and tinder. We're going to tuck this underneath here to show every time we are at the double sun location, we can flip over our campfire, and then we're going to be able to go to a spot that someone else is at. Okay. Blue Ranger, the one at the back is moving 3, 1, 2, 3 into the same slot as us. Green Ranger, the one at the front is already finished, so this one's now at the front, is moving to the next available space, which is here. Okay, so it's our go. We are going to take you and move you here. As much as I'd like to come get some rewards, we're going to move you here, and we are going to trade in one sunshine. 1 sunshine for a wild. So we've now got 2 wilds in our bag. There are extra cards you can use to make this difficult. Those cards might be you're only allowed 1 wild in your backpack or something along those lines. So they do make it a little bit more interesting. So that's us done. Blue Ranger at the back is moving 2, and you're going into the park space, so you're going to stay as player 1. The Green Ranger, there's only 1 of you, is moving to the next available space, which is here. Oh, we should have moved these down. Sorry about that. So they go here. We also should have got rid of one of these, which is probably the one I took. So sorry about that. When they go to this location, oh no, they did the campsite. So we don't need to get rid of one of those. I think that's the hardest bit about this game, is the order of doing it and moving the things and then thinking, should I have done that? It's pretty straightforward other than that. Gain a mountain while reserving a park. Interesting. So I'll go. Do we want to just go and pay the price to go to Bryce Canyon? It achieves this, which is when you gain a mountain, you may trade a mountain for a wild. I mean, that's not horrendous, but there's no real easy ways to get mountains. We could just go for the extra points, which is maybe what we'll do. We could. I was meant to refill you. Oh, good. Another forest. Okay, great. We could go and get another canteen. thingy. Okay, I am going to go here to the parks. I get to take the park action. I'm going to visit a park. I could visit more than one park if I wanted to, but I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. So our 2 wilds and our 2 mountains, plus 2 suns to go to Bryce Canyon. I'll just show you Bryce Canyon. It's always nice to see the art. Plus Utah, 1928. This park is comprised of 12 amphitheaters filled with hoodoos, towering rock pillars that range from 5 to 150 feet in height. So we've scored 7 points. We also immediately get to flip over this card because we've visited a park with 3 mountains, and we can flip this over. When gaining a mountain, you may gain a wild. You can trade in a wild for a mountain, sorry, the other way around, or gain 1 point for each park with 2. So that's immediately 2 extra points. I'm going to take this, and what we do is once we've chosen a side, we tuck it underneath our board here. So our passion is complete, and now anything we do there is score points in it. So there we go. Bryce Canyon has been visited. That's us done. It's now Blue Ranger. There's only one. He is moving to this space here. And then Green Ranger is moving to 1, 2, and now it's our turn. What do we want to do? Oh, I could have visited the Everglades. However, if I'd have visited the Everglades, I wouldn't have had 3 left to get a canteen. So I think I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to grab another canteen. I'm going to take the forest and I'm going to tuck it down here. Okay, that's us done. We know that this dude is going to finish, so he is going to go up to the parks location. We immediately jump to the end and get to take our action. I'm just going to reshuffle these cards. So we could go to any of these locations and do the final scoring, the final action. Do I want another gear? I do have 1 sun. I could gain a canteen while reserving, or gain 2 suns while reserving. Or do I want to go and reserve a park or something? I don't know. None of them really scream to me, although the Everglades would be quite nice just to get 3 points, right? We could go and grab a gear. Got 1 sun. Could go and grab a gear. Okay, I'm going to go here. I don't get this last action, but I am... Oh, no, I can't buy the binoculars. I don't know if I need a gear, you know. I could just go and take a photo. Do I want to take a photo? Don't know if I want to take a photo, you know. Oh, I wonder, I presume when these go here, I bet this is the case. When these go here, you move this out of the way and move these down, because they're doing the same action that you would have done. So I presume we should have also done it here, so I apologise, but we'll move that out of the way. And we'll try and remember that going forward. So I still can't get any of those parks. A gear is a gear. Need to replace one of these. Ooh, now I'm intrigued. Okay, well that's probably solved it for me. I'm going to go here and I'm going to spend 1 sun to take this gear, which is the camp mug. You gain a water. Oh, sorry. When you reserve, you can gain a canteen thingy. I mean, it's probably not that important because you're going to fill this up at some point, but is what it is. Okay, we have to do the end of season actions because everything is done. I do just want to check if I get the reward at the end, so bear with me. Yeah, so the rules say when only one player has hikers left on the trail, they must move to their hiker directly to the trail end, performing a trail end action. So you don't lose out for not doing it. If I put them here, I would have got a sun as well. So, okay, perfect. Because no one else took it. Right, so we do the end of season scoring. So spring, we're looking for the most water, but in a solo game, we only needed to have 3 water. We have 4. So I'm going to flip this over. The reward is a canteen, which I'm going to take. and put this here. See, this is why this isn't that important, because we're only going to have 2 canteens left at the end of it. Okay, next one is 2 suns. Right. Okay, empty your canteen. So we're going to take this and put this back in the reserve here. Relight your campfire if it's been exhausted, flipping it face up. I guess we do that at the start of a turn. I'm not sure if that's the... I guess so. Doesn't say differently, I don't think. So we gain that at this turn. I didn't do that when I was doing my practice. So at least now we're going to be able to use that. So that's that done. Return all hikers to the trailhead, so we can move all of these guys back down. We're still not going first. I think going first is quite powerful in this game because you've got free reign as to where you're going. Probably more powerful later on in the game. Okay, so we returned all the hikers. Refresh all of these. So we're going to take these off. Give these a quick shuffle. There's not a huge amount of reset to do, but we'll shuffle these up. Okay, what have we got? There's the mountain that we're so keen on. There's the gear at the end again. What? Okay. We then re-roll the die. We got a water token, so the shutterbug goes here again. We put this token here, in where that is. We put the weather down, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, all denoted by the symbols at the bottom here. And the first place doesn't get any. Okay, great. We remove the campsites back to where they live, and we remove this one, and we do the next one. We shuffle the gear down, the last gear gets removed, and we bring these down here. Sleeping bag. 2 suns, flip your sun over at the forest space, very nice. A wide angle lens, and the binoculars have remained. Interesting that we don't move these down, which I think is probably one thing that I would look to change, just to get a bit more churn. But I guess it means, because ultimately with the campsites, they don't go here and then don't remove it. You're just looking at the same ones over and over and over again. Okay, discard the rightmost gear, we've done. Place the token on, we've done. Camping, we've done. We're back to the start of the game. So Blue Ranger Teddy is up first. We flip over this token. He is moving to the next available space, which is here, and getting the Shutterbug token. Green Ranger is moving to the next available space, which is here, taking this sunshine away. Okay, we're not horrendously upset with that because going to the wild token isn't the worst thing for us. We could get the Everglades, but I think if we go here, we take the water and put that here. We can then trade in 1 water for a wild, which is quite nice, because we've got enough for Katmai, or we could use it to get Isle Royal. Okay, so that's us done. We're back to there go. So Blue Ranger Teddy, the back ranger is moving 2 spaces, and the back ranger for green is also moving 2 spaces. This feels very familiar as well. Okay, what are we doing? I think we go to the park because we're going to be able to grab 2 parks, which we need parks with wilds. There are none out, although we could get you, which would help us. Okay, we're going to jump. Do I take you? Do I take our one at the back? Do we want to do any of these? Maybe not. We're going to go here. I'm going to take the water. I'm going to put the water in. I don't need to take 2 park actions. I'm going to put the water here. I'm going to grab 2 suns, but I'm going to trade 1 of those suns for a wild. Okay, then I'm going to spend... Oh, we suck. I'm going to have to spend 4 water and 2 wilds to get... Okay, let's spend... I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend these 2 wilds here to take Isle Royal, which comes into our visited. We can visit as many as we want, and when it comes into our visited, we get to grab one of these. So I'm going to take 2 suns again and put them over here. So we've got 1 card with a wild. We need 4 on them. Then I'm going to spend 4 waters to get the Everglades as well, I think. It's not ideal. We don't really need it, but we'll take it. And we'll tuck that underneath here. Okay, so we've now got 12 points, but we are working towards this. This symbol here means we roll the die, and when we do roll the die, we get the resource that's on that die. Okay, Great Smoky Mountains and Shenandoah. Okay, so back to Ranger Blue. The back Ranger is moving 2 spaces to here. Back to Ranger Green. The front Ranger is moving to the next available space. Okay, and now it's our go. We really want the mountains, right? We're back to wanting the mountains. Oh, I need to replace you. Oh, with a mountain. So maybe that's a call that we go for. If we go and get the canteen, we can get, although if I reserved, I'd get that as well. I could go to the same space as someone else, so it's not the end of the world, but maybe going here, getting the photo token, I can spend a resource to take a photo. I could get the mountain. I feel like that's the better choice. I'm going to go here. I'm going to get this token, so now we can take photos and they'll be worth more, but I'm also going to get this mountain, which fills up our canteen. We could have taken 3 photos. Right, okay. So this goes here. That's the end of our turn. Next up is Blue. The back Ranger is going to the next available space all the way up here. Okay. Doesn't do anything at the dice space. Green Ranger, the back Ranger is moving to the mountain space. Get out of the way. Can't you see that's where I'm trying to go? And if I had a wild, I could trade it in for 3 mountains. If I had a forest, I could trade it in for 5 suns. I could trade in a water for 2. I don't have a water, so it doesn't really help me. But I could come here and get this, but then that gives us 3 water. That gives us some resources. I'm going to do it. I'm going to move here. I'm going to take this water and put it in our space here, gaining 2 suns and a mountain. I do need 2 forests, but then I'm going to get 2 more waters. I'm going to put 1 here, and I'm going to get a forest, and I get to take a park action, which is going to be me reserving this one. And then I'm going to flip this over. The Joshua tree. What was I doing? I was doing the park action and I got a forest, so that's all that done. I didn't take the camp. That's me done. Okay. Blue Ranger is... The front Ranger is moving 3. 1, 2, 3. You're going camping over here. Okay. Green. The back Ranger is going to the next available space. So you're going here. This is getting cleared out. And we're moving the... Oh no, hold on. Take that all back. There's a campsite. This is what I was saying, is the campsites seem to slow things down in terms of churn, which is a bit disappointing. Okay, so I'll go again. I do need 2 forests, so maybe moving to the next forest space isn't the worst shout. Still need another mountain, but that's kind of blocked up over here. So if I go here, I get a sun, and I get a forest. I think that's probably the best call for me right now. I don't feel like this is going very well. Okay. Blue Ranger, the front Ranger is moving to the wildlife space over here. Okay. Green, the back Ranger is moving 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. You are going camping up here. Okay, that limits my option somewhat, but we are moving here. We are gaining 1 of these, and that is it. But now I don't have the water that I need, which is a bit disappointing. Okay. Blue Ranger is moving to the next available space, which is just here. The Green Ranger, the back, is moving 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Which means we can move here. We can gain a water. And we could buy a gear. I haven't used my fire yet. I should do. I mean, all this for 1 point, well, 8 points, I guess, is a lot. Do I want the wide angle lens? Do I trade in 2 suns for the top? Let's do that. I'm going to spend the 2 suns here that I don't necessarily need right now, and we'll take the top one of the gear. Whoops. It is a journal. Reserve, gain 2 water. Not really. Oh, well, that's not too bad in relation with our thing. We would have got another canteen thing, but we're full. Okay. So, blues go. Blue is at the back, moving to. Just there. We're still up here, look. Green, the back ranger, is moving to here. Okay, what are we going to do? We're at the back. What do we want to do? We've got what we need to visit this site. If I got another forest, I could also visit the Joshua tree, which would give us another wild. There's no way we're getting to where we need to be with wilds, but I can't get another tree unless I go here, and then I won't have enough suns. Let's have a think about this. I'd be spending you, and you to get this. No, and you. Which leaves us 2 suns. I mean, do I just go and get the sun just to... Do I just go and get the sun to start us rolling towards the Joshua tree? Maybe, let's do that. We'll go here and we'll get 2 suns. Okay, Blue Ranger, we can assume he's going to finish. He's jumping to the finish and he's going to the gear location. Okay, Green Ranger. Really like it to be the back one. It is. He's moving 2 spaces to the finish and he's going here. Okay, it's not horrendous for us. That means I am jumping all the way up here to the forest location. I could have used my fire. I keep forgetting about it. And at the forest location, I'm just grabbing a forest. Okay. Green Ranger. I think we know that they're going to finish. They are going in this space here as well. So that means we get to go here, gain the first player token, and take the park action. We are going to visit the Great Smoky Mountains. We're going to spend, so that's here. We're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 tokens to visit the Great Smoky Mountains, and we can tuck that underneath here. It's another 7 points plus 1 for having 2 mountains on it, but we're also going to visit the Joshua tree at the same time. Get rid of 3 of these plus this, and when we do, we get 3 points for it, but it's got an instant action to gain 2 waters, which is somewhat nice. And then we move this a lot. Hold on a second. Did I just get this wrong? He moved to the end, right? Which meant I had to move to the end. Okay, let's put the Joshua tree back. We didn't have the forest. Let's get 1, 2, 3, and we wouldn't have had these waters, right? Is that right? I think that's what we would have had, and we went here. So we'd have gone here to still get the mountains, the Smokies, right? So our finish was to get the Smokies rather than anything else. Okay, that makes. I think that's right. I think that would have got us back to where we should have been. Sorry about that. I thought I was able to take one last turn, but my last turn is to go right to the end. Okay, what I'm going to do is quickly put a pause in. We'll reset everything now you've seen how it's set up, and then we'll go through with the final session. We didn't complete this. We have 1 wild action on this card here. We haven't got any others, but now we're looking for the most mountains. We need 5 mountains, which we've already got. So we've already done the the achievement for 4, which is nice because that's 3 victory points. Right, we'll put a pause in and we'll be right back with the next round. Okay, we are back and we are up first this time round. We've got as many mountains as we're going to get. There's no more mountains out, which is a bit annoying. If I can get a forest token, we'll be on our way. So I wonder if our first turn is going to take us here, and we'll get 2 waters. And with those waters, we'll put 1 here, because that will get us a forest. And then we can take a park action, which could instantly be to get the Joshua tree, which would get us 2 more water. Let's do that. Still got a water to spend, but let's take this, spending our forest and our 3 sunshines, which will get us 2 more waters. So I'm going to tuck 1 in our bag here. I'm going to put 1 here, so I can trade in 1 water for a wild, and get 2 sunshines. There we go. Gives us a bit of a mix to go with. Filled up some of our things. The next one comes out. Please have mountains on. Nope, just some sunshine. Okay, great. Okay, so that's us done. We've gone here. A lot of things happened, but pretty good for us. The Joshua tree we tuck under here. I don't think we're doing that well, but okay. Blue is up. The blue ranger is going to the next available, which is here, and is going to remove this. And the green is going to the next available, which is here, and is going to remove this. We do have our sunshiny token. None of these really excite me, if I'm honest with you. But if I went and got another sunshine, I'll be able to do the gate archway, which... What are the campsite actions? Visit a park and take a photo. We can trade in a mountain for 5 sunshines. We can get a gear and a canteen. We can take trade in a photo for any resource or all resources. I'm guessing all resources. There's no slashes or anything between them. We haven't got a photo. I haven't shown you that at all. Okay, let's jump here. Let's take this sunshine and 2 more sunshines. Okay, blue is up. The back ranger is moving 2 to here, and green is up. The front ranger is moving 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're taking that. You're also taking the shutterbug token. Okay. No camping or anything. Fine. Now it's our go. I wonder if we go and get some more water. Maybe that's our answer. Or do we just go to the park and cash in right now? I think we get some more water here. This is probably the wrong move. Let's go and get some water. We're going to spend 1 water down here to get 2 suns. And a mountain. And then we're going to grab this other water as well. Not sure that's helped us a huge amount, but is what it is. Okay, next up is blue. The back ranger is moving to the next available space. Then we have green. The front ranger is moving to the next available space and getting rid of the campsite. Okay. Now it's our turn. Feels like going and getting a couple of parks is the right thing to do. So I'm going to go here. I would have taken the action, but he's used it. So we're going to gain a water, which I can put here. We are going to grab you for 1 water and a wild. Tuck you down here. No wild action on it. And then we're going to spend 1, 2, 3 sunshines to grab the gateway arch, which does have a reward on it, which is 2 more waters. Okay, if that reward had have been get a couple of forests, we'd have been able to also gain that card. But we move you along. We take you, the Mammoth Cave. Nice. And we've got Denali. Okay, mountains. I see mountains. Okay, so it's blue rangers go. The back ranger is moving 3. 1, 2, 3 to the parks, but they are moving this. Oh, we would have got rid of the last park. I don't know if it was this one. I think I may have messed this up, because when this happens, this is the action I always forget. I don't know whether we're meant to do it or not. I'm going to assume that we are meant to do it. I'm going to move these along. I genuinely don't know if when you camp in solo, because I don't know if it's their hiker there or not. It'd be weird to set up a tent and not be there, but we'll treat it as though when we do these actions, that triggers the effect. I think the same as this one. That's how I'll treat it. Okay, so that was blue. Yeah, now green. The front green is moving to the next available space. He's off on it. He's not interested in the sights. He's just gunning it to the end. Okay, what have we got? I need another mountain, which means I need to go here and get the fire. But this dude's at the back, so I'm less worried about it. Unless he gets a 3, we're going to go here and we're going to roll this die. We got a wild. That's nice for us. Okay, let me show you a wild token that we haven't seen before. We have a little beaver, so to speak. Okay, that goes there. Good. Right. That's our go. Right, we just go and get that. Next up, we have the blue back is moving 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we would get the token, but already got it. And now the green front is moving 2 to the end, to the buffalo. Just ran the whole trail. Love that. Our go. We're going to go here and get a mountain. Okay, we can't afford any of them going to the park space, but we need them to get out of the park space so we can go there. Okay, blue ranger is the back ranger is going 2 spaces to here, getting rid of this water. Doesn't take any actions there. The green ranger, the front ranger again, so that's you now, is going to the next available space. Okay, now it's our go. There's no point me getting gear. I could move here and use my fire, but that kind of just seems like a bit pointless. So if I was using these 2 to get that, what would I need? I need another forest. Do I jump? I'm jumping you all the way to the end to get a forest, I think. You go here and we gain a forest. I could get all of these, but I think this is fine. I'm going to have to get rid of something, which I think is going to be a water at the end of my turn. I could camp, but I think this is the right thing to do. Okay, so that's that done. I'm not sure it is the right thing to do, to be honest with you. Okay, blue ranger at the back is moving 2. They discard the gear. Okay, green ranger is moving 2. What are we doing? We could go secure a victory point for having this first player token and take the park action, which would mean we can then see what comes up next. Because we can spend 2 mountains to get the Mammoth Cave. I don't have another mountain, but I could spend 2, a forest and a wild to get Denali. I think we're going to do that. So we're going to go here. We'll get this first player token and we get to take the park action. I'm going to spend a couple of mountains to get the Mammoth Cave, which is another 3 points. I am going to spend a wild as a mountain, a forest, 2 suns, and 2 water to get Denali. That's another 6 points, would you believe? This I can't get because I don't have any wilds or forests, so that slides down. Another mountains, it feels unlikely at this stage. And 1 of everything. If I could take a photo and then get here to a campsite, we might have a choice, but I think the campsite's about to go. That's us done. Okay. Blue ranger at the back is jumping to the next available space, which is here. There goes the campsite. Okay. The green ranger, there's only 1 left, is moving 2 spaces to here, which means you go away. You get turned over. Okay. If I could get a forest and a mountain, I don't think I can get a forest. I don't think I can get any more of any of those. I could not go camping. Could try and take some photos. If I went here, here's what I could do. I could go here, spend my fire token. Hope he doesn't go here. Reserve Capital Reef maybe. Then I can go here if he's not here and trade in one of these for a mountain, and then hopefully take a slot here to get that. I think that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to go here and spend my thing. I'm going to take Capital Reef. When I do, I get to reserve. I get 2 waters. Okay. We'll put that in our reserve. That's me done. Right. Blue is the back ranger moving to the finish. He's going to the park slot up there. Perfect. Green, do not go to the next available space. It's going to the next available space. You scumbag. Okay. That could be us. That could be our chance done. I can't see anything that'll allow us to change a token. Oh, I can't even do that. Well, it was a gamble. We knew it was a gamble, right? I could just go and take a photo. Probably the right thing to do. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Not that this helps, but still can't do that one either. Great. Okay. I guess we just come here. I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to spend 1 resource to gain a solitary point. There you go. You've seen how photos work. If we had this token, which we don't, we'd have been able to take 2 photos for 2 resources. Okay. Blue is, would you believe it, moving to the end. Green, what are you doing? Moving 2 spaces. We can never go backwards. A forest does not help me. None of these things help me. So I may as well go here. And you'd have got rid of a gear, but we don't need to worry about it. You'd have likely got rid of a park, but I don't know when you went there. You will jump to the end. I get to take a photo, so let's get rid of one of these and grab another photo. We'll just show you that these have little images on them, and on the back, on the back, just 1 point there. Okay, that is that. We are done. Everyone's at the end. We need to do some scoring, so let's turn to the book with the final scoring in. Okay. Award the season bonus. Did we have 5 or more mountains? Yes, we did. So we get the points from that. Okay. So final scoring. Award the final scoring bonus. 3 points. I'm going to write this down as we go. 3 points. Score visited parks. So 7 and 3 is 10. 7 and 3 again is 10. That's 20. 6 and 3 is 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. So that's 37 plus 3 is 40. Okay. So we got 40 points. We get 1 from having this. Score photo, so we get 2 for that. So we're up to 42. We get passion card, so 1 for each mountain on our parks visited. Okay, so we have, for each 2 mountains. So we have 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and then a solitary mountain. So another 4. So 46 points. Did I score this? I don't think I did. 47 points for having the first player token. So if we have a look at this and flip this over, you can see 45 points is Adventurer, 50 points is Trailblazer. We have managed to achieve it as an Adventurer. All good. There are some extra cards you can add to this to make it a little bit more complicated. Let me just see if I can find those. Bear with me. They're in the box. So I think it's these cards. Is it these cards? Maybe not these cards. Not sure what cards it is. Yeah, there are some cards which over here. I've had them all along. So you can put these in, which are like, you may only visit parks from your reserve. So I can't go and pick them up. You have to take an action to reserve them. This one, remove the 2 or 3 points and 3 points parks from the deck before play. So you're only going to the big ones or the smaller ones, if there are any ones. Your backpack holds 1 less resource for each gear you've purchased. So these are just adding a little bit of complexity into it to make it a little bit more of a challenge. But there you go. This was Park's 2nd edition. Let me know your thoughts. There's a little bit of variety. There's a little bit of of action. The quality of the components is really nice. These little trays that hold everything. The artwork is fantastic. I think I got a few bits and pieces wrong. I will say the solo bot, it's not complicated. It's just, like going here to discard a gear, going here, discard a park, going here, does it discard a park? I struggle to remember those things, and as you saw during the playthrough, but it's not the most complicated. I'm sure if it wasn't on camera and I was slowing down playing it, it would be a little bit easier to do. But there you go. I want to keep things moving, and let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment. Let me know if you've got it. Let me know if you prefer Edition 1 or Edition 2. I haven't played this multiplayer. I'm looking forward to getting it to the table and playing it multiplayer. I'll then just do maybe a quick sort of summary on Patreon and BoardGameGeek saying my thoughts solo player and a review of solo versus multi. But a fun little game, I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of those things really do help. If you want to go a step further, check out the Patreon. There's a load of additional content on there. We put stuff out every month, and there's a load of free stuff over there as well. So even if you don't want to support it monetary-wise, you can also just check it out. There's a lot of free campaign blogs and everything else. Thank you so much. See you again soon.